I'm going to do a short piece here on Julie Sue. Now, I've covered a lot of material already in my stuff about things she's done. And there's a lot of material that hasn't surfaced yet into the disclosure area for the public. Now, frankly, let me just start this out. What's happened is I know she's going to end up hearing this. So I'm just going to tell people and tell her what you've done, Julie, is you've just created a big, huge mess for people like me to clean up. You know, you've done a big, huge mess here because nobody's going to believe you that you weren't handing money out south of the border to bring and encourage people to come into the country so that they could register to vote and, for the most part, become Democrats. And you'll have a very hard time ever basically convincing people that that wasn't part of your mindset. I would see it as virtually impossible. Of course, you know, going into an fMRI lie detector, having some pharmaceuticals put in you that way, I mean, you know, I'm open for other things that could pop out. You know, I'm a realist. I realize that people have different states of their mind, but the reality is what's left behind is something that I have to work on, that I have to deal with. You know, and, you know, I just have to bring out and point to the plans that I already had that nobody knows that I actually seemingly had, you know, because not many people listen to some of my ancient stuff, and the reality is pretty plain and simple. You know, you can't turn around and demographically go, oh, we're just going to compute the difference in additional cost to food, the additional cost of this, that, the other thing. That's not going to work. We have to have major items. That means that we have to provide a direct one-to-one understanding in extra home loans to build new homes. And we have to hand out to people and say, we're offering to make you managers to step up one level on the system of life, of the reality of our ranking system, the way it works. We have to do this. We need more people that are managers. We need more things managed in a stewardly manner. You know, and we have to do this. You know, we have to find people that are poor, basically hire people to say, look, here's the criteria. Go out and find us some poor people that fit this criteria, that somehow we can work into helping them step up in life and become managers of some type, something, somewhere, somehow. You know, help them and say, look, we've got a project here. My projects I've talked about everybody gets to have saws and boards put back in their hands and be able to build homes again. So basically, as far as I'm concerned, you've committed crimes and you're going to go to prison. You know, and, you know, so here it is, plain and simple, having the guts to lay out things that have been laid on the table right now, as simple as they can. You've created a big, huge mess that has to be cleaned up by people like me. So as I step up and say, yeah, I'm running as a Democrat, and, you know, I don't want to talk about my last 20-some years as a Democrat, and prior that I did have 20 years as a Republican, but the reality is I'm going to move the country forward. I am the best candidate. See, I can stand up and say that because I know I am. I'm not going to sit there and do this little grandstand, that little grandstand. I'm not going to play these standardized political games. I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to restore the Constitution, and I'm going to put carpentry back into each and every citizen's hands. It's just that simple.